Yo, what up, Toshi here. It's been like, what, 7 or 8 days, a week? A actual full-blown week of Etheria Restart. I am now level 36. Today is going to be the account review of my account, my free-to-play account, no refreshes. Okay, I lied. I've refreshed only one time. So that means I clicked the plus button and refreshed like 60 crystals. I think I did it for some XP farm because I was trying to clear a sage. And spoiler alert, even though I cleared to get more XP farming, this did nothing to help me clear the stage. So it was pointless. So yeah, minus one refresh. I've not made any advances towards the account's level progress. Refreshing most of my crystals, if not all of them, right? Because I use 60, unfortunately. All of them have been used for the permanent summon banner to try and get as many characters as I could possible. You can see I have not made any summon video in quite some time now. And the reason why is because, well, you guessed it, the pool has dropped off drastically. The accumulation to get pools in this game has dropped off drastically. I mean, when I say drastically, I've not gotten any more pools aside from, I don't even know at this point, clearing achievements every now and then. Like, I went from doing a pity worth of summons every day to now I've been stuck at like 20 pools for the past 3 days. But yo, what up, Toshio? Let's get into it. So like I said, I've hit level 36. My account hasn't changed too much. I ended up getting Freya. Freya was like one of my last 5-star characters. No, I think she actually was my last 5-star character. If I go to the summon and I look at the pity, I think Freya was my last character. Yes, boom. She was my last character. I didn't include it in the video. I actually made a video for this a while back. It was a long video. I didn't include it for whatever reason. So it is what it is. But yeah, I ended up getting her. She's a very, like, one of the best characters in the game right now because her value is insane for PvE. And apparently she's decent for PvP too, right? Now, for PvE, she gives you a defense buff, which is massive, and she gives you this Dreamwave state, which is nice. It allows you to purify debuffs, which is insane. It's insane. And then you also increase the attack of your allies, and then you allow them to heal whenever they dish out damage to the opponents that have the Nightmare buff, debuff, and then the enemies also take more damage. So she's just a very strong support. She replaces your healer pretty much because she is a healer. And she's a cleanser, one of the best cleansers at that, because you have the Dreamwave stacks, right? Which allows you to get rid of the debuffs. She is hands down the best supportive healer character in the game right now. The closest thing I could think of is like Sonya, right? And Lingluo. Lingluo probably. But the truth is, Sonya has a revive which makes her super valuable. But if you're not tackling content where your characters are dying that fast, the revive doesn't really matter as much. Right? Because the PvP, maybe you get some more mileage out of her. Her base speed seems pretty high. You'll get some mileage out of her. But in general, in the game right now, I found Freya to just be more valuable because Freya gives you the debuff, stuff like that, and then the attack increase, and then you have the defense up, and then the Dreamweave. Now, obviously, Sonya might be a lot better. Again, when you're fighting content, that is a lot harder for your account. So if you're doing, for instance, the Abyss stages, when I say Abyss, what do I mean by Abyss? Now is a good time to segue into overall like the content in the game. So we go to challenges here, and then we go down to the right here, the Anti-Sync Echoes. Not this, excuse me, I lied. The Ember Trek Abyss Challenge. Boom. This is the Abyss. Once you clear these stages right here, they progressively get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder, like really, really hard. Like when I say hard, they get really hard to the point where like the enemies are super tanky, have a ton of HP. Your characters feel like they do no damage, and I'm stuck on Lilith because Lilith is such an annoying character to fight. Such an annoying character to fight. Now, I haven't tried this stage in quite some time now, so maybe I'd be able to clear it now. But yeah, the Abyss, having a character like Sonya would be really good here. But Freya feels really good in all the contests in the game right now. So I ended up getting my Freya to level 45. I have her on some budget gear. I just have effect accuracy, a little bit of speed, and just defense stats, some bulk, right? I ideally want to have this character on the... I feel like effect res isn't that important on the character. Obviously, you want her to stay alive as soon as possible, so you don't want the character to ever get like defense broken or anything like that. But I feel like having this character on effect res is kind of pointless because it's such a stat that needs so much allocation that takes away from your bulk, your speed, and your effect accuracy, for instance, right? So having her in these stats is important for me right now. But in the late game, believe I would have her on a Solitaria-like build if you've played Epic 7, where you have bulk, speed, effect accuracy, and effect resistance. I'd have more effect res than I would effect accuracy, especially for PvP, where the characters you're going to be landing the debuffs on are characters that are not going to have really much, if any, effect to res, right? Because a lot of players don't believe in that anyways. Now, I have Messiah. Messiah is going to be my main damage dealer for the account for quite some time now. My 83% crit rate, a little bit of speed, doesn't really matter too much because he's getting advanced forwarded by my Tsukuyomi. Some crit damage, some attack. I want to get the attack as high as possible, but I have him on like crit damage like main. His modules aren't insane. These are modules I've had for quite some time now. I have not upgraded or changed yet. Obviously, this one can have better substats. This one, actually, this is kind of better, right? And I'm not even using this character anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and swap this now. He gets like 1% more crit rate. Can I get like 12? A little bit more? Okay, boom. Now he has 100. He has 85 crit rate. Yes, he has 85% crit rate. Even better. So boom, we just upgraded his build. But yeah, man, I've been using Messiah a lot. This character is extremely strong. Element neutral across all the content, just broken. Apparently, he's like the one character that can counter the upcoming character Hoyen. The reason why is because he ignores the target's passive when attacking. So essentially, he can straight up just like, I guess, assumingly kill her without her reviving. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, he apparently he's the only character that completely dumpsters that character, from what I heard. Also, he has the invincibility. So even if what I'm saying is not true or whatever, he just doesn't die to the character because he has invincibility. And when that character ends up draining her own HP and she loses HP, he's going to kill her, right? With the S2, she'll come back, and this is assuming if she comes back or she just goes to 1 HP and then just ends up doing her S3 or whatever. He does damage based on the max, like the lost HP of the character, right? That he's attacking. She's gonna have a lot of lost HP. Like this character just straight up just disintegrates that character. So yeah, this is like the only real counter to Hoyen right now is Messiah. So for PvP matters, if you don't have this character, it kind of sucks, right? Now I have my Heinrich also invests too. He's my other 6-star. So my 2 6-stars is Messiah and Heinrich. Heinrich is awesome. Really strong PvE character. Super good. Really got good for his damage and debuffs too. Like he has the crit damage increase on the enemy and crit rate increase. The crit rate, it feels like even if I have an enemy, my Messiah still misses crit for whatever reason. He misses a ton of crit, 85%. So in all honesty, if you can get the crit rate as high as possible, you'll thank yourself later for it. But Heinrich is like my go-to character for just all of the contests in the game. Super duper good. The debuffs allows you to dish out way more damage. I'm sure he's like even better with didding and stuff like that, because didding scales really hard with the crit damage, right? And the crit rate. And then you also have the wound, which stops enemies from healing. And then you also can remove buffs with the S1 too. I mean, you remove buffs with the, or block buffs rather with the S3. But yeah, you can remove buffs with the S1, which is like super duper good. Super duper good. Like honestly, like this is so good for a lot of like enemies in the game that give them defense up. If you can get rid of defense up, he's so valuable. Now, obviously, I need to get way more effect accuracy. Right now, I just have him on the DPS build because I need more damage to dish out for my teams overall. So I'm on DPS. I do want to speed tune him to go slower than my Tsukuyomi when I go over her, because I want him to take advantage of the attack buff that Tsukuyomi is giving. I don't know how this team is going to work out because in all honesty, Tsukuyomi pushes up an ally, right? So, like, ideally, you want Heinrich to go first so you can take advantage of the crit damage buffs he throws into the enemy, right? So that your nuker, in this case Messiah, can take advantage of the crit damage whenever he attacks, and then Tsukuyomi will just give the attack buff in the turn order to him. Or you can give the turn order to your other character that went before, so like maybe your Freya, so you can essentially give the turn order to your Freya, and then even like with the skill where it's at now, Freya won't cut. It won't even matter if she does cut. But you can have Heinrich still go first, apply the debuffs, and then have Messiah go after and then do his thing, right? And then have Tsukuyomi go first. So I'm thinking about how I want to do this later on in the future whenever I do start farming Doki more for the speed. But yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents on the things like that. I've been using Mio a lot less. The reason why is because Mio is definitely just, for now at this point, a PvP character. I'm at the point now in PvE content where a lot of enemies just are so tanky, just have so much HP, so much defense. Like, having a character like Mia that does not provide any buffs to the team, right, to increase the damage of your damage dealers, or any debuffs to increase the damage that the enemies take from your damage dealers, means that she just has less value overall for my runs. She was really good for the early to mid game, but then she fell off again because she's just not as valued. PvP though, this character will be a monster. This is a first pick PvP character without a doubt. This character is a first pick PvP character. So whenever I do like RTA, I'm definitely gonna be picking her slamming her down every single game. Super duper good character. Like honestly, the best PvP character in the game, in my opinion. Now you have Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi is my budget Lily. Tsukuyomi is great. She's amazing. Honestly, really, really good. And she's super good with Freya. The reason why is because Freya gives a defense buff, which makes Tsukuyomi's S2, actually, and S1, S2 especially, doing some decent damage, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, this skill does some decent damage with the defense buff you get from Freya. Because the Tsukuyomi is defense scaling. But that defense buff makes her S2 hit like a truck, especially when you have Heinrich increasing the crit damage and crit rate the enemies take. So if you accidentally crit on your S2, you do some decent damage with this character, man. I'm not even gonna front. So I'm thinking about maybe allocating some stats towards like her crit, right? Because I mean at this point, the character, in all honesty, doesn't need like any effect accuracy. I feel like the silence doesn't matter for PvE, right? PvE content doesn't matter. So giving her a little bit more damage will help out a bit. But yeah, man, she hits like a truck. I do like that she gives the attack and speed to the whole team, which is very valuable. Super duper good. And she gives a turn meter to the ally. Now, again, later on when I speed tune this, I want the turn meter she gives to like... Oh, wow, she gives herself 35% extra turn meter? Dang. Okay, that's crazy. I don't think I would use the skill lattices on her as of right now. But obviously, again, later on, that may change when I get more. But I want her to be speed tuned to go after... I want her to go before Heinrich so that she can give the attack buff to Heinrich because mine is a damage dealing one, not a effect accuracy hybrid one. So I want her to give the attack buff to him so that he ends up doing more damage on his S3. And then later, later on, I'm going to need to farm more Doki Doki so she's faster than my Heinrich. But that's going to take some time. I need to farm some more gear, stuff like that. I have her on 4 Swift Rush and then 2 of the HP. Maybe I can, if I get like speed here, then it's pretty much done, right? She'll go first. I mean, this one is better than the other one though, to be fair. 4 speed, 19 defense. Maybe that little bit of defense matters more than everything else, right? Because she's defense scaling. It's flat defense though, so it's not as valuable. But yeah, do I have any other pieces though? Nah, these are not any good. Unfortunately, well, this one is like, can I get a speed here? Wait, is this the same? This is the same set, right? Can I get another speed? Man, I can't get any speed to save my life, huh? Man, this is already telling of what my future is going to be like when it comes to farming speed gear in this game. I'm not looking forward to it, just based off of this session here. But yeah, I've loved Tsukuyomi. Just my budget Lily for now. When I get Lily, of course, I'll replace her with Lily, and I'll probably still use her for like PvP later. She'll have use in PvP, right? Because she is an advanced forwarding character, so she'll always have use in PvP, right? Just because of the nature of her kit. But Lily's just a better character overall, right? So that's why Tsukuyomi doesn't really get too much play and much spotlight, because she's just a budget version of Lily as of right now. Lily has a dual attack too. She doesn't have a dual attack, which makes her just inherently worse, right? For PvE. Shadow Sonya, we already know how this character went. This is my character that I will never use ever again. The character takes too much investment, right? You need a ton of effect accuracy, a ton of speed. You need bulk too. It's just too much. Like for a new player, a beginner player, a mid-game player, right? A player leading into the end game, it's just not worth it. And then that's not even taken into consideration. You have to actually put investment into her skills, right? In terms of gold lattice. So that's even more investment, right? And you could have used that same investment on other characters that will progress your account a lot quicker, right? Messiah, Heinrich, Freya. There's only so many resources in this game, and you shouldn't be using those resources to build a character that is pale in comparison to other characters in the game right now, unless you are a whale. If you're a whale, then it doesn't matter. But I'm a free-to-play player, right? And I don't refresh. So for me, every bit of resource I have on this account matters a ton, right? Daily resources. Any daily resources going towards a character like this is just bad. I really wish they would let us reset this character, because again, there's a bunch of XP, right? I could have gotten back. There's like the things for the prowess I could have gotten back. Like, there's so many resources I could have just gotten back from this character, throwing into her, that I really wish I would get back, but you know how this game goes. They don't really care, so it is what it is. Yeah, character I probably won't ever use this character again, if I'm being honest. Not even, like, in the late game. because by that point I'll probably have another team established, or I'll probably have built Didding, right? To where I won't even need this character at all. Now, in the future where we get like another 5-star Dot character, she'll have more value, but I think as of right now, she's just not a good character, right? For most, like 95% of players, she's just not a good character. Lingluo, I was using this character a lot, and you get her for free, right? So at this point, I'm sure most of you have her for free, right? So build her. She's a phenomenal healer. Probably the best healer in the game, if we're being honest here, because of how consistent she is, right? And she has the immunity too she gives the team, which is super valuable. So for PvP, she's going to have value there. She has immunity. She gives a bunch of healing. She will have a value for PvP. And let's not forget too, that she extends the buffs, like the duration of your buffs, right? So it doesn't matter what buffs you have. Like for Messiah, if you have the invincibility, she will extend that duration by 1 turn, which means your Messiah now cannot take any damage for like 2 turns. So in all honesty, she's really good with Messiah, like really, really, really good. But I've been using Freya because Freya is just better for PvE for me right now. Lingluo I definitely will use later on. I think she'll be a really good PvP character too. But as of right now, I don't have use for this character. Even though her design looks great. She looks very cute. I just don't have a use for this character. I was using Chiaki before, but then I ended up getting Lingluo, and then I just transitioned from Lingluo to Freya. So I'm not really using Chiaki anymore either. Chiaki was a solid 4-star healer, but that's all she was a 4-star healer. She doesn't even have any cleansing in her kit, which sucks. That's honestly one of the things I don't like about the character. Then you have Obol. I don't use him anymore because Dot has been just gutted. Fangus, Dot has been gutted. I don't use him anymore. So, I mean, these two characters are just dead, in my opinion. Apparently, Fangus can be used on a DPS, sub-DPS build. So, he can, like, be on a crit build because his follow-up attack apparently does quite a bit of damage. But, I mean, at that point, just use a better character for this, right? I don't think he's worth it. And he's like, red, right, element. It's like, there's a dungeon he's not going to be too good in, so I'm not really looking forward to building a character that is RGB, right? That's not like top tier. Lilith is going to be a PvP character I use. Her control is just too good to not like utilize. Super good control. Stuns, right? Speed down. I think she also, does she decrease her action value? I don't think she does, but she does additional damage. Insane, right? A lot of damage, a lot of control, stun, speed down. It's just such an AIDS, probably the most AIDS control character in the game right now that nobody talks about because we haven't hit PvP yet. This character, and she scales off HP too, right? She's going to be really tanky. She's so annoying, man. Like, the most annoying character to fight in the game right now because of that speed decrease and the CC, man. It's so annoying. And if it hits your cleanser, man, you're stuck. Like, you're just stuck. Just being stunned. It's so annoying. Like, I remember I got my Lingluo got CC'd from her, and I had like 70 effect res, got stunned. I'm like, well, effect res is useless. I got stunned by this Lilith. Might as well just like quit, right? It was a Lilith on the Abyss stage, which, mind you, that was Abyss stage 5 or 10 or something like that. You told me that early on, my 70% effect res Lingluo gets CC'd by a Lilith. Like, what are we even talking about? But yeah, this character is just insanely good. For PvP probably in the future. Leon, I was just using her for the challenges, just to get the awards and stuff like that. Then I went ahead and reset her and got the resources back. Now I don't use this character anymore. Go figure. She was a character I didn't really care about that much. She has really good PvE uses, but again, I don't really care about the character that much, so who knows, right? Kloss is a character I want to build, but I haven't got to building her just because, again, resources are very dry on an account like this if you're not refreshing every day. If I was refreshing, then she would have already been built. She's an amazing defense down character, still turn meter. She's just phenomenal with her defense down, right? That's her value. Her defense down is massive. So for PvE, I definitely will be using her. And I think for my PvE stages, because I already have Freya, my teams will look like this. My team would look like, if it's like a 5-man team, it would be Freya, Messiah, Heinrich, Tsukuyomi, and Kloss. Now, if it's a 4-army team, right? 4-army stage, then it'd be like Messiah, Heinrich, Tsukuyomi, and Kloss, right? I wouldn't need a sustained character because I feel like her defense down will allow you to clear content a lot quicker, right? Because you're just dishing out way more damage. The S2 from Messiah would hit like a truck, right? And then his defense ignore would be very nice in combination with the defense down she gives on the enemy too. So just overall be very valuable for the end game. So whenever I get to the point where I build her, then boom, she'll be a very nice character to have on my account and use overall. That's it for the characters. I haven't even built Diding yet. I'm trying to see how far I can get in the game without building this character. I'll be honest, it's hard, man. It's hard. I have another account, and I see the value of how strong this character is already. It's hard, man. Like, trying to play the game without this character or building him is just like, it's hard. It's genuinely hard. I have nothing but respect for you if you've progressed through this game without building Diding. Genuinely. Because this character makes everything easy. He deals so much damage for an SR character, it's insane. He scales super hard with the supports in this game that increase your crit damage, your crit rate, Heinrich, then you have Lily. He scales so hard. Tsukuyomi even helps him out, even though she doesn't give crit. He's just insanely good. I'm surprised a character like this didn't get nerfed. Like, how do we nerf Shadow Sonya, who is a character that 95% of players can't even build, over Diding, a character that everyone is building, even the highest of ends of players for PvP content, and has faster clear times than any other character and team in the game. And we haven't nerfed him, but we decided to nerf a 5-star RGB character, or light dark character. That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on the whole situation and Diding and stuff like that. When I need him, I'll probably build him, but for now, I'm not going to. And I've been seeing this character up and around and about. Reminds me of Lilius from Epic 7. Apparently she's like insane. Defense down. So it seems like she's more of a budget version of Kloss, but she's a different element. So maybe she's just like better in different contents where Kloss will have a chance of missing on the enemy. I don't know too much, but yeah, there you go. So overall, that's the characters I've been building, characters I'm using, and characters I'm looking forward to building, like Kloss, for instance. And I've been just farming XP stages, man. You could never have enough XP stage farming. The reason why is because your characters, like, in my opinion, the most safe and for sure progress you'll have on your account is leveling up your characters. Without a doubt. The easiest progress you'll ever make on your account is leveling up your characters. Like, I know what it's like to gear farm. I played Epic 7 for years, right? I played Summoners War back in the day. I know what gear farming is. Gear farm, you can go a whole week without making any progress to your account. You can go a whole month. You can go 3 months. You can go 6 months if you're chasing speed, of course, without making any progress towards your account. I'd rather farm XP, right? And then I know like shells are important, but I'm not even like at that point yet, right? I'd rather farm XP, get my characters leveled up first, and then I start farming the other stuff like gear, shells, and all that jazz, right? Just like you would in any other game, right? I would treat this like I would any other game. I'm not rushing PvP yet, so for me it doesn't really matter that much. Now, as for PvP, because I have been doing it a little bit, I've been dabbling in it somewhat. I did some Summon Arena because I want to get the pools, of course. That's kind of how I did a 10 pool in one of the previous videos. And then I did the Etheria, and I got to gold here, gold 2. Just by using this team here. The opponents I've been fighting, I feel like, are bots, so I can't really talk too much about this. But the rewards are fairly easy to get, right? You have the weekly challenges, stuff like that, the Rake Up awards and all of that jazz. It's so sad, but the rewards for the Etheria are like pretty mid in comparison to the pools you get from, like, obviously, like, if you're like a higher end, you get a ton, but like the RTA, like the RTA rewards are definitely better. Like, without a doubt, these are like light and dark pools, right? These are going to be really good later on when they start releasing more light and dark characters. Rank 1 getting a 10 pool is insane, by the way. That is insane work. I mean, obviously, if you get, like, to be rank 1 in this game, you would have to have spent, like, at least bare minimum $10,000, right? And then upwards of there just means you can maintain it. But yeah, 10 pool for that is just, like, crazy work. Crazy work. I mean, at that point, you're rolling for every character anyways with your wallet, so it's not even like it matters to you to begin with. You're getting a 10 pool from clearing that content, right? And reaching rank 1. That's it. That's my video here. That is my account and what I have going on. Of course, I will be saving more pools for Hoyen, right? She's a must pool character for me in terms of design. Freya looks good too. But for me, the thing is I think Freya, I didn't see the value in this character. I didn't really know much about her because I was so focused on getting Lily. I was so caught up on getting Lily that I did not even pay attention to characters like Freya existing that are really good too. But I'm happy with my roster of characters. I wish that Shadow Sonya just wasn't a character anymore. Like, if I really could, you can clearly tell this is AI art, by the way. You can clearly tell it's AI art. If I could, I really would replace Shadow Sonya with Lily. Just because Lily is 10 times better as a character. Not even, bro, that's an understatement. That is putting actual disrespect to the name of Lily. Like, what are we even talking about? Lily is 100 times better than Shadow Sonya will ever be, right? So I feel like Shadow Sonya is just a dead pickup if you have her on your account as of right now. It's sad, but that's just a reality situation. I also know Ramoka's pretty good too, and I don't have her. I don't have Tiamat. I don't have Rosa. I don't have Zyada. I'm missing so many characters. Mia, no Chloros. Like, bro, how am I even progressing through this game right now? I feel like Messiah and High Reach have been just hard carrying my account as of right now. These two characters are insane. That's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Bye-bye.